I want to show you why it is so important to teach an online course. And why do you want to get into that? Well, there's a lot of money in it. And there's a lot of money in actually passing down information, especially if you're passionate about it. I'm going to walk you through exactly how I've done that and how you can do it too. Just a reminder to check out reviewonlinecourse.com. It's a collection of all my software reviews, the pros, the cons of each platform, to help you decide which one's right for you. If you decide to use any of my links to trial a platform like Kajabi, Thinkific, or Teachable, and so on, you get a free pair of Apple AIRPODs as my way of saying thank you. Check the description box below for more details. Anyways, back to the video. All right, guys, how to teach an online course. Why is that important? Well, why teach an online course? Because the advancement in technology and people's endless hunger for information is only growing. They're going to all sorts of places, forums like Reddit. They're moving to checking out content now on LinkedIn. They're moving into Instagram. I mean, there's how-to videos everywhere, TikTok, YouTube, and it's only growing. The internet is the human consciousness downloaded for you to learn off of. Now, why is this important? Well, if you can actually be passionate about what you're talking about, be a little entertaining, and actually provide good information, you'll build an audience. And with that, you can then actually sell that information in an organized fashion. So someone might say, why would I want to actually buy information when there's so much out there? Well, because there is so much out there. People want to pay for their time and their energy and their resource, right? The resource is the most valuable resource isn't money, it's actually time. So if you can organize it in such a way that information is perfectly laid out and organized, people will pay you for that. So if you can condense it all, put it into a particular, like a book, an online course, a PDF, people will actually reward you for that. And you can actually use that to sell to your audience. So information is meant to be passed along. It's not meant to be hoarded. And if you're actually a type of person that likes to pass on information, this is perfect for you because we're all students and we're all teachers. So why is actually the right time? Well, it's never been a better time because higher education is not keeping up with technology. Well, that's pretty much the standard case across the board for a long time. But now technology is edging out any kind of primary school, even college. All the information is now online. So what's really the point of a diploma now? So people need to stay relevant to technology. And schools are kind of archaic. They're behind the curve. They're teaching you antiquated information that's not even really valid anymore. So to stay up with that, you have to turn towards technology to learn that type of knowledge that's actually relevant to the time that we're in right now. That's exactly what I did with the golfing industry. I actually had spent about 10 years in golf, and I was like, all right, well, I like how they're doing things, but I think there's a better way to do it. I think we can put this online and make this more digestible and easier and more accessible to people. And so I built an online golf subscription company that did very well. So how much money can you actually make teaching online? Well, I want to show you something. So in the next 5 years, it's projected to be $315 billion in the actual education space. So I want to share a little bit of my journey. Not going to go too much into it, but I didn't really know a lot about golf, and I didn't want to put myself out there as a golf coach because I wasn't a golf coach, but I knew how to do some of the back end skills and build a website and things like that, because Kajabi made it so easy. And if you look, here's one of my accounts, and you can see it's grown. And this is how much money you can make. This is a guy who actually knew nothing about building websites and kind of creating graphics. I learned all that stuff on Canva, and I actually used Kajabi and the powerful tools that are in it and put it out there, and the world received it very, very well. So if you put good information out there, and it doesn't necessarily have to be you, you can partner up with someone, or you can actually pay someone to do your filming for you and have them be the teacher, and you kind of just run the whole business. There's lots of ways to do it. You don't always have to you might be camera shy. So there's other ways, not just putting yourself out there. There's other ways to actually do it. So what you need to be successful to teach an online course? Well, you're going to need knowledge or someone else's knowledge, no matter how you get that. You need to have a desire to help people genuinely. You can't just throw it out there because you want to make money. You have to actually feel that passion. I mean, your audience feels that. They know if you're falsified on that. They know if you have passion in this particular area or not. That's why I wasn't passionate about teaching golf, but I loved golf and I knew the industry well. So I found someone who was passionate about teaching golf. So you can actually kind of create a kind of symbiotic relationship like that. You need to have a way to share that information, how to distribute it out to audience so people can find it. And you need equipment. Now, what type of equipment? You don't need a lot. Let's go over it. A computer or smart device. You're not going to be able to get away from that. You really need some kind of iPad or tablet or computer because you're going to need to edit. Most likely, you could do it on a smartphone sometimes, but you are going to need that. Can't get away from it. Camera, most likely your phone's going to have a camera on it. Microphone, most likely your phone's going to have a microphone on it. Teleprompter, guess what? Also, free app from the App Store. You can literally read a teleprompter as it's moving down. Internet connection, that's pretty much free if you go to Starbucks, Well, you got to pay $8 for a coffee drink, but let's just say it is pretty much a free thing across the board if you find the right place. Video editing software, you can use, there's a free software, iMovie. You can use that. I used that in the very beginning until I moved to Final Cut and then I went to Premiere Pro. But that's free. iMovie's free. So then screen recording software, well, actually, this is something I had to learn. I have used things like Camtasia and ScreenFlow, and I paid like $100 one-time fee for that. But now I've realized actually my MacBook has the ability to capture the screen recording. So screen recording software is built into your Mac for free. You just actually hit like Command-Shift-5 and then the record button. A tripod. You don't need a tripod necessarily. You can kind of prop your phone up on some books, but a tripod, pretty cheap. You can get away with it, put your smartphone up on it. And then maybe some lights, like things like this. Oh, blinded you. Okay. Now I'm blind and I can't read anything. Okay. A green screen. I've got a green screen behind me right now. A camera stabilizer. That's built into the camera. So you can use a couple other extras, but all of this stuff, the majority of it is free. How cool is that? So how do you start teaching online? How do you have an online course? Well, you actually have to decide what type of content you want to create. What's the purpose of that content? Is it going to be transformative? Is it going to be a high level education training like a mastermind? Or is it maybe going to be a certification process where you're certifying people on that knowledge so they can go out to the world and spread it further? Do you want to interact with your students through a group or like a one-on-one training or like interactively over Zoom? That you have to decide that as well. Could be in person, but it also most likely, since it is an online business, it's most likely going to be over Zoom or some type of medium that is interactively done through digital. You also have to have course blueprints laid out. You have to know if it's going to be a mini course, just the how, what, why. Might have to be an online course, might be a dripped course that you drip out to people, modulated course where you do a call every week and you take them through the course and then their homework is to watch the videos and you come together and you ask a lot of questions. It could be a coaching program, could be a mastermind, could be a membership site. It could be a community where you don't even charge anybody to watch videos, but people pay to actually be a part of a community. I know a friend that actually she's a member of a dog food community. That's a really big thing, like raw dog food. And she's obsessed over making sure that her dogs are eating the healthiest, rawest food possible. So there's a community for everything. You just go on Facebook groups and you'll find everything you can even imagine. So how do you start teaching an online course? Well, all you have to do is choose a topic that you're passionate about and then choose a niche. So how do you know that it's going to sell? Well, you have to do a little bit of research. You can go to a search engine like Yahoo or Google, and you can check out what the keyword search is. A lot of people are going to say, all right, well, I want to teach horse racing. And you can check out horse racing. I'm just noticing as I'm looking over here, I'm noticing a typo. I have to fix this. Research. Okay, I hope I spelled that right. Okay, so you can look at these keyword searches and see how many people are searching this each month. That will let you know if it's a powerful enough niche that people are looking it up and want to learn more information about it. I was shocked that actually dog training is a huge market. I would have never known, but it's a huge market and it sells very well online. Who would have thought? All right, so online social groups is another way. We mentioned Facebook groups, forums. Look at these forums that are built. See how many people are in them. If there's 200 people in them, it's probably not going to sell. If there's like 200,000 people in this group, it's a good chance people are interested in that type of information. You can also interview people, maybe some of your friends or maybe even some strangers, asking people about this niche. Would you like to learn this? Is this of interest to you? Would you purchase this? That's a great way to kind of vet your friends to see if there's any interest there, because you might be the first to it. You might be the pioneer. You might be the first one that's actually selling this program because you actually created it for yourself and it's so unique that no one even knows it exists. So asking people right there is a good example. You don't need a lot of people. You actually can go deep rather than wide, especially if you have a high priced ticket item like $1,000. You only need to sell 100 people on something like that. So pick your price. This is a tough one for a lot of people because it's variant upon how much your value you're offering. So the value of the problem that you are helping people solve is in direct correlation to the price point. So there are other websites out there that you can take a look at and check to see what the price points are and decide, okay, they're charging this. I think I can charge that. And that will give you a good variation of like exactly how much to charge by looking at what other people are doing. But also you can decide how much attention you're giving people. If it's just online courses, it's probably not going to be as much. But if it's actually one-on-one attention where you're actually getting on a Zoom call and you're walking people through the course with your own personal time, those can be higher ticket items. I've seen those go for almost $2,000, $3,000 for those online courses. And you also have to stay within your comfort level. It might not be comfortable offering $3,000. You might not be comfortable with that. When you start to charge more, you start to feel like this imposter syndrome. That does not feel good. So make sure you stay within your comfort level. And then the last thing is how to create your content. Well, step one, you create some scripts. You can actually throw them on a teleprompter and you can read it, or you can wing it like I'm doing right now. You can create support materials so that people can actually have some kind of workbook or homework or like little dittos, like little worksheets that they can fill out so they can work along. It makes it a lot more interactive. You can produce your content, like in setting up the camera, and you can hit record and you can edit and you can do all these things. You can actually teach people how to do that. You could even teach people on how to set up and create your content for an online course. That's what's kind of cool. And then lastly, uploading your course content, and actually then having the supplements that actually support that content. And that's like a walkthrough tutorial on exactly why it's the best time to start and how to actually get that to the world. So I hope I answered some of the questions that you might have when you're actually going to build online content. I'm excited to actually help you along your journey. If you have any questions or comments along the way, I'm here to help you. Leave them down below and I'll see you guys in the next video.